As an introvert, or if you're someone who feels shy and socially anxious, you likely have a false view of what a socially skilled person is. So let's start stirring things up in your mind, questioning what you've been believing until now. And by the end of this video, I'm pretty sure you will have a different view of your own social skills and of what other people represent for you. I'm Laetitia. I'm an INFJ, and I used to struggle with a lot of social anxiety for over 15 years after being bullied every day at school in my teens. I thought I was socially awkward. And even when I started to be myself more around people and when I started to connect better with other people, I still viewed myself as lacking social skills, and I viewed other people as being very good at it. And I'm working with a client at the moment who is experiencing this too, believing that others have great natural social skills, so she puts them on a pedestal, and believing that she does not have social skills because she is a bit more quiet. She does not feel very comfortable in groups, and she has the feeling that she does not belong. And this is an area I love helping people with because changing the label that you put on yourself and on other people, socially skilled over there, socially awkward over here, is game-changing when done properly. Here's the first perspective that I want you to shift. You likely think that people who are very talkative, very chatty, have good social skills. And I believe that for so long. When someone is very chatty, you immediately compare them to yourself. A bit more quiet, a bit more held back, or more in a listening dynamic. You automatically believe they have good social skills because they talk a lot, and you wish you were like them. But this is a false view of social skills. In recent years, I met people who talked a lot, who were super chatty, very comfortable in conversations. However, they also talked over other people, including me. And it's not because they were unkind or rude, because they were actually really kind, but they would talk over you. And even if they asked you a question, they would actually talk over your answer. So they would show interest, but they wouldn't give you any space to express yourself. They would just keep talking over you. It was their way of communicating, but it did not make the communication pleasant. I know that the old me would have thought, oh, this person is super talkative and comfortable with words. And I would have assumed that they had good social skills because they talked a lot. But this is actually someone lacking social skills. And you, who may be more quiet and who listen more than you speak, you actually have some social skills that they don't have, and a very crucial piece. You give the person space to express themselves. This is a social skill that the person I described does not have, but that you very likely have. And you may not know it. So if that speaks to you, let me know in the comments. Being talkative does not equal social skills. And that's a mistake that quieter people, introverted people often make. So, as you can see, social skills is not actually about the amount of words that you utter. It's really about creating a dynamic of giving and receiving, of giving the other person a space to express themselves, and you expressing who you are and taking this space for yourself as well. But the dynamic is really important, and some people are going to break this dynamic, the ability of having this dynamic. Here's a powerful reframe. Even if you're not the most talkative person in the room, you may have more social skills than the other people around you in the room who are talking a lot more. And I'd love for you to let that sink in, because this is such a powerful key here. You may have better social skills than the people around you in the room who are more talkative. The second perspective to shift here is the belief that if you're not included, it means you are not lovable. For me, that was a really big one, given that I was being bullied at school and rejected every single day, and that groups were being formed, and I was never a part of it. I was always excluded. I was not chosen. I was not wanted. So that was a big piece for me. A client told me about an experience recently that I wanted to share with you. She went to a choir practice, and there were only strangers, people didn't know each other, and a group got formed straight away. But she was not included in the group. So she saw those people who started to bond very easily and naturally, and she was by herself. And she instantly felt unlovable, not good enough. She felt that those people had amazing natural social skills, so she put them on a pedestal, and she really believed that she did not have any. And I helped her put this in perspective. First of all, she put this label on herself and on other people because the situation mirrored exactly her limiting beliefs. I'm unlovable, I'm not chosen, I'm not interesting, I'm not good enough, and I don't have good social skills. And this experience was very familiar to her. So the labels were immediately assigned in her mind. But what if it's not actually true? What if it was not at all about herself not being lovable? What if it was that those people in the group were lacking a crucial piece of social skills? Think about it. People who don't try to include someone who is all by themselves, looking a little bit uncomfortable, are lacking compassion and empathy. And those two elements are a very big part of what makes good social skills. My client, on the other hand, because of her experience of rejection, is aware of this. And in social settings, she's going to try to make people who are all by themselves comfortable. She's going to try to include them. And she thought that those people who bonded very easily together have great social skills, but actually they are missing some very important elements. My client actually has social skills that those people in a group don't have. And it has nothing to do with how lovable she is. They did not even try to know her. They didn't even try to meet her. So let's stop thinking that it's always our fault, that the blame is on us. The third perspective to shift is thinking that you are the way you are and that it cannot change. I remember in my late 20s, I'd come to the point that I was not confident. I was socially awkward, even though I was experiencing more and more natural and easy and fulfilling conversations and connections with people. But it would be the interactions that did not go great that stuck out for me. And that's the negativity bias. So the label that I put on myself did not fully change. So for all those years post-bullying, I believed that I could not change, but I was wrong. The label that I assigned to myself was changeable. And when you change it, your experience and your reality change. What is holding you back into shyness and social anxiety today is the limiting beliefs that you picked along the way in your journey. And whether you're at a stage right now where a change of perspective can have a massive impact on you and be very liberating, like maybe it is happening for some of you in this video, or whether you're at a stage where you have to go deeper within to shift the beliefs that are limiting you, I want you to know this. It is possible. Your identity is changeable. And I love taking the example of a young woman I helped this year who struggled with social anxiety, with not being herself, with feeling really drained by social situations and being passive in groups, having difficulties communicating, lacking confidence. And I mentored her to uproot the belief that she was not lovable, because it was from that root that the behaviors and the feelings that she had derived. And we rewired her mind with empowering beliefs to create a change of identity, to change the label that she put on herself and on other people. And I always find it wonderful to witness the change in someone. She is now feeling confident in herself, and those are her words. She's now having natural conversations with people, including with people that she'd never talked to before. She's feeling more energetic. She's being her creative, spontaneous, and joyful self, not only at home, but in the external world around people, so she's being herself a lot more. And that's allowing her to connect with other people in ways that feel empowering and fulfilling. So when you change the label that you put on yourself and on other people, you change the way you feel, which in turn makes your behaviors, your actions, your responses change. And I hope you can now believe that you have more social skills than you thought you did. And that those people that you put on a pedestal as being super socially skilled, you can now let them climb down the pedestal because they are not better at social skills than you are. And if you feel that it is time to stop feeling like a wallflower, that it is time to confidently take your place in the world, I'd love to mentor you with this. And I've linked in the description box the link to a page with all the details and information on my one-on-one transformational container called Heal and Expand, through which I do this work. I only work with a limited number of people and it is filling up. So if you want to see if it's the right fit, let's have a chat really soon and we can get going. Much love. Bye.